everybody, how you doing? Mikey's back with another review. Today, we are looking at something near and dear to my heart. I love chew. Today, Big Duke Southern Blend Loose Leaf Chewing Tobacco. Look at this bag. This is a 1 pound bag. I really hope I like it because it's a 1 pound bag. Big Duke Southern Blend. Now, I have tried the Big Duke regular, and that was quite enjoyable, especially for the price point. Well, if you can find it and you don't live in a tax-heavy area, you can get it for a really good price. And it's actually, for the price, it's a really good chew. And this is their Southern Blend. What does it mean? I don't know. I'm going to find out. Anyway, Big Duke Loose Leaf Chewing Tobacco, Southern Blend with the Hound Dog, 1 pound size. Like it says, 1 pound size right there, net weight 16 ounces. They have to explain that. Let's see here on the bottom, Big Duke, the comment line. Excuse me. Sale only allowed in the United States, at least 20% domestic grown tobacco. So at least 20% domestic, 80% foreign. For loose leaf chew, that's not bad. Made by Pinkerton, Owensboro, Kentucky. Alrighty. And this does, it does have a zip top bag. It is a sealed bag, but it does have, I feel a zip top there. Doesn't feel like it's engaged, which isn't that big of a deal because it has been sealed. I am going to use the hardware to get myself a nice, neat cut. Slice this bad boy open. There we are. And, come on. Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties while I try to figure out how to open a bag of chew. There we go. And, ooh. This has a nice aroma to it. Get some light in there. Not much in the way of lighting here, are we? Come on. Anyway, nice dark leafy chew. I'll pull it out momentarily. Decent moisture content. Get my fingers down there a little farther. I've noticed with some of these bags, if they sit upright, the bottom's got a lot of moisture, the top moist, but not incredibly so much. So I kind of stick my hand in there and stir it up a little bit, just in case there's some moist nibbins in the bottom. Alrighty. Yeah, this, I'm trying to pinpoint. It's kind of like some of that molasses note, but I almost wonder, this have like some kind of a fruity berry type aroma. There's something in there that's a little different from your standard chewing tobacco. Look at that. Nice loose leaf. Nice leafy chunks in there. Yeah. Got some veiny parts. I'm not really feeling much in the way of stems. Let's go on stem patrol. Now, loose leaf chewing tobacco, you are essentially looking at leaves, small tobacco leaves that have been sprayed or dunked or slurried or one way or another into a nice sweet mixture to counterbalance the natural bitterness of tobacco. So you're looking at a sweet, a lot of people say raisiny, molasses, fruitcake is another term. You know, something along those lines with loose leaf chew. You get a nice, this stuff has got some moisture to it, tacky to the fingers, but it's not sopping, this one here in particular. Yeah, look at that bad boy. Now, if I were to take this, make sure the bag doesn't fall over. If I were to take this and unfold it a bit more, so they do get somewhat scrunched up. Yeah, there you go. See all the nice veiny goodness of the tobacco leaf? That's what you're looking at with loose leaf chew. It's essentially tobacco leaves, albeit somewhat small ones. Bigger leaves, they chop them up a bit, shred them, and then they give them their nice flavoring dunk. And that's what you got with loose leaf chew. Pardon me while I be a slob for a minute. Kind of curious what makes this different from the regular. And from the aroma, I don't know. It almost has a fruity, maybe a slightly berry-ish. I don't know if it's my imagination or if that's what they're going for. But we will soon find out. Big Duke, Southern. And we're off. Yeah, I'm going to have an interesting week next week. There's a, those of you who don't know, I work for Ace Hardware. I manage a store here, or over a couple towns over, about a half hour from here. Been doing that for over 6 years now. There's a major farm and feed chain moving into the area, and I got a call a few weeks ago from one of the recruiters. I always have it's either LinkedIn or Indeed. I always got my resume up there. I haven't done anything to it for a while. I'm going to get a call from a recruiter. Hey, we're moving into your area. Your name came up when we were asking for people who had farm and feed store experience. Would you be interested in applying? Sure, I'll apply. So I sent my application. I'm perfectly happy where I am. You know, I could stay there for another 10 years. No big deal. But I always keep my ear to the wind for an opportunity. And I have my first phone interview with their HR district recruiter from the actual company on Monday. Be my first actual job interview in like 6.5 years. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they have to say. I'm really curious to see what they pay. And I'm really curious to see what their benefits package looks like. Because quite frankly, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm starting to get up there in the years. I'm 54 years old. I had to think about that. Wow. So, you know, don't got too many more job changes ahead of me before I get put out to pasture. Pardon the pun. Applying for a farm and feed store. But yeah, I used to work for a farm and feed store. I was an assistant manager there. Fell victim to office politics. The general manager didn't like me because I was too redneck for his taste. You know, whatever that means. So I knew I'm never going to get my own store working for them. So that's why I went to Ace. Got my own store there, turned this store around, tripled the sales the last time I've been there. Owner's happy. I'm happy. But hey, opportunity comes up, starts knocking. I'll at least see what they have to say. Who knows? Maybe they don't like me too. Maybe I'm too redneck for them. I don't know. We'll find out. Should be an interesting conversation Monday morning. Yeah. Anyway, back to the chew. This stuff is not overly sweet. It does have that molassesy type standard chew, molassesy raisin to it. There's something else going on in there, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's not sickening sweet. It's definitely sweet, as most chewing tobaccos are. It's not over the top sweet. Sometimes you hear stuff say Southern Blend, you're like, oh man, it's going to be sweet, sweet tea. This one, it's not cloyingly sweet. I don't know. It kind of does have a sweet tea-ish type thing going on for it. But I'm trying to figure out what is that other flavor I'm getting in there. It's not ringing fruit. It's not ringing berry. There's something else going on in there, and I'm not sure what it is. I like it. It's good. Not sure if I like it as much as the regular Big Duke, but it's definitely got that. It's got a nice chewing tobacco, nice solid, not over the top sweet. Not much coming through. You know, loose leaf tobacco on its own would have a bitter aftertaste. That's just the nature of the tobacco. It's got enough sweetness to counter that out. It's not over the top sweet, but there's some other lingering flavor in there. And it's eluding me. Not quite sure what it is. It's juicing up nicely, holding together incredibly well. Nice thing about chewing tobacco, once you get it loosened up and it softens up, it just sits in a wad in your cheek. Kind of get that flavor coming out of it. You pull it down, gnaw on it for a little while, throw it back in your cheek. And this stuff can go on for a good, you can enjoy this stuff for 30 minutes to an hour, easy. And considering that entire 1 pound bag, I believe it actually did cost this. Mr. Troy was able to source it for me. I'm pretty sure it cost $9.99. That's unheard of. Normally in my area, you're paying over $10 for a 3-ounce bag. And a couple of them, you're paying well over $20 for a 3-ounce bag of chewing tobacco. Yeah. The flavor, for what you get for the value, it's actually pretty darn good. It's been a while since I've had the regular Big Duke, but it almost seems like the regular Big Duke came across as more sweet. It had more of that molasses, raisiny, chewing tobacco type flavor to it than this does. This seems to be a little more subtle, and there's something else going on in there. Can't quite put my finger on. Maybe it is a sweet tea type flavor they were going for. Maybe that's their little concoction. They kind of wanted to give it a sweet tea-ish flavor. That very well could be it. But yeah, it's actually really good. Yeah, Big Duke in the chewing tobacco world, for the value stuff, economy chews, it's a really good brand. Very well worth checking out if you can find it in your area. I have no idea if it's even sold in my state. Troy sent me this. He lives back east. But yeah, a while back, he reached out to me. Hey, I live in an area, all kinds of tobacco. I sent him my wish list. He's like, hey, I can get you this, and this. Okay, sure. I sent him some cash. He sent me some chew and some dip and a bunch of other stuff. And thank you, sir. It's much appreciated. I'm not quite sure what to tell you this flavor is. Maybe they are going for a sweet tea type of flavor. Juicing that's up a bit more. Maybe that's what they were going for. Is a sweet tea-esque chew. And if so, yeah, not a bad job doing it. But yeah, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it. It's got enough of the classic chewing tobacco flavor in there with a little something else, kind of give it a little bit of twist. That it's good, but I'm not sure what it is. Kind of good. sitting here for a while, and now it's juiced up quite well. I'm leaning more and more towards maybe they're going for the sweet tea effect, because I am catching some things that are reminding me of a sweet tea. Okay, I'll call it a sweet tea. I don't know. It's good, whatever it is. If you can find it in your area, it's definitely worth checking out. Big Duke. This is the Southern Blend. Whether you can find the Southern Blend or the regular stuff, either one, definitely be worth checking out if you like chewing tobacco. Nice thing I like about chewing tobacco is the flavor. If you want to get nicotine out of chewing tobacco, you're not going to get much. Chewing tobacco, by its very nature, is a very low nicotine product because they haven't really alkalized the tobacco leaves. It's just dried tobacco leaves with the flavoring added to it. Tobacco in its natural state, relatively low on nicotine that you can absorb. They use the alkalizers and stuff like that to change the pH of the tobacco itself, and that makes the nicotine inside more readily available and can be absorbed by your body. But this stuff is just straight dried tobacco with flavoring on it. Therefore, your nicotine content will be low. You do this for the flavor. The flavor. So yeah. Anyway, this has been Big Duke Southern Blend. I'm glad I like it because I got a 1 pound bag of this stuff. And I got a couple other 1 pound bags down in the fridge that I'm still working through from some other brands. So yeah, I got some work to do. It's a rough job with all the chew, but someone's got to do it. Anyway, if you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And I will come back at you again later with another Jip, Chew, Snooze, Snuff, or alternate product review. Until then, y'all take care. Catch you later.